So when I was learning soft skills training, and when I did train the trainer program, there was a module for assertive behavior. Okay. And that's a cognitive program. It was not healing, it was just training. And in that program, they spoke about passive behavior, aggressive behavior, and assertive behavior. So what is passive behavior? Passive behavior is I'll allow people to walk over my feet, walk over me, and I'll make myself this pathetic, meek, timid, weak person who can't fight, who can't do anything to others, who can't say anything to others. And will always say yes to what anybody says, good or bad, and will still try to please them. The person who stamped your feet and left, and you will go and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have kept my feet here. That's passive. Okay, aggressive is, I'll beat you and I'll tell you you are wrong. Because you behave like this, that's why I'm beating you. That is aggressive. Now, what happens to the passive people who are all the time saying sorry, who are all the time thinking that they're weak, thinking that they cannot fight, thinking that it's good to not fight, thinking that good people never fight, or thinking that it is right to not fight. And so it's good to be passive. And there is no other choice but to be passive. Now, these people are perpetually unhappy with themselves. Perpetually unhappy with themselves because they're constantly lying to others and themselves. They're saying sorry when they don't have to and they don't even mean to. They say sorry at one place and then inside they feel that it is the other person's fault. That person only stamped over my feet. But still I went and said sorry. So I'm so right. I'm so good. So this passive behavior has a very dominant aggressive side inside, who keeps telling that person that you're right. You went and said sorry, you're right. You didn't fight, you're right. These people are bad, you're right. These people always take advantage of you, you're right. So this is a passive behavior, which has a very dark, deep, hidden, aggressive side, but which is very inside. Outside, it's very passive. I'll never fight. I'll never say anything to anybody. I'll always be the one who will say sorry. I always try to make peace. Peace is important. Now there's the aggressive side. Now this person will all the time be the one who will shout, will be the one who will be violent, will be the one who will be making you wrong. And outwardly saying that I'm right. Inwardly will always feel that why do I do this? Inwardly will always feel मुझे क्या हो जाता है, मैं ऐसे क्यों करता हूँ? Inwardly there'll be a very passive side which that person wants to cover up, the weak side, which that person wants to cover up because of the belief that he is supposed to be aggressive. He's a man. You're supposed to be this way because you're a man. Why am I making man and woman? Because usually women are passive and men are aggressive in general. I'm broadly talking. But it is, if I have to say it just simply, it's feminine trait and masculine trait, even in a woman. So the passive side is the feminine side and the aggressive side is the masculine side, based on the perception of this reality about what a woman and a man is supposed to be. But it's actually not truly feminine or masculine. This is the perception of the feminine and masculine that we swear by, we live by. Now, this aggressive person will continuously be aggressive because there's this passive person who wants an aggressive person to dominate, and for this person to remain passive, there has to be an aggressive. It's a nice game. पैसिव एग्रेसिव पैसिव एग्रेसिव पैसिव एग्रेसिव, मजा आ रहा है खेलने में, दोनों को मजा आ रहा है. कभी बाहर नहीं आएंगे, कभी बाहर नहीं आएंगे. चलते रहेगा पूरी लाइफ ये गेम. We have seen so many families where there will be this one person who will always be aggressive and one person who will always be passive, between husband and wife, between mother and child, between father and child. There will always be this one person who will be aggressive and one person will be passive, and the passive person will always feel that I'm right. The aggressive person will say that I'm right, but inside will feel that I'm wrong. It's a very complicated thing to understand until we get it. Now there is the third thing called assertive behavior. Assertive means if you walked over my foot, I will tell you, you don't have the right to walk over me. Say sorry. I will be as aggressive as is required. Actually, it is assertive, but not making myself right or other person wrong, but just saying what is. That this is what it is. You just now stamped over my foot, so say sorry. Now when that person says sorry, okay, hisab barabar. Now I will not allow anybody to stamp over my foot next time, because I'm standing up for me. So there is no need for right and wrong. And then assertive. How will the aggressive person become assertive? By being vulnerable. By coming and saying, you know, every time I'm aggressive, I don't know what happens to me. I'm really sorry. I don't know any other way to behave. And, you know, just something takes over me sometimes. And can you help me out of this? I want to come out of this. I want to be nice to you. I want to be nice to myself. Now, when does a person choose to be assertive? Usually it will be when the passiveness or what being passive has taken like so much toll on you that you can't anymore be passive. Or something extremely worst has happened. That ab agar if you remain passive, you'll die or somebody else will die. Similarly, when that aggression goes to that level, that you start looking at yourself like, have I become inhuman or what? What am I doing? I have to change. Now, these are when everything goes to an extreme, the passive and the aggressive, then it strikes that I have to change this. I can't continue like this anymore. And usually it comes with a conspiracy or a desperate need to change. When somebody, like for example, some big setback happened, some big loss happened, some big, fight happened. And then everybody is introspecting that, shit, now what to do? Now, assertive behavior can be cultivated. Passive and aggressive is learned behavior. We all have learned it in smaller degrees or big degrees based on our upbringing, the childhood that we have been. How was our father? How was our mothers? Who was aggressive? Who was passive? And because they didn't know any better, you also learned it from them. to be either passive or aggressive. Plus, generally passive aggressive behavior, PAB, together, passive and aggressive together, like this is both passive and aggressive together, is found in people who have a very dominating and controlling parent. Because when the parent is very dominating and controlling, the child is very passive. But inside the child, the rebel is started to build. And then one day it will show its aggression when it becomes big enough to show aggression, like teenage or beyond. A very controlling and dominating parent gives rise to passive aggressive behavior in a child. A dysfunctional family definitely gives rise to passive aggressive behavior in a child. Now, in this, if we keep on trying to calculate in that family or in the parent who was right and who was wrong, you'll still never be out of that passive aggressive behavior. You'll still never be out of, you'll never know how to be assertive. Until one of those parents, the passive or the aggressive, changes, does work on himself or herself, and becomes assertive. Now that's what happened in my life. I was passive outside and I was very aggressive inside. And before my marriage, I was very aggressive outside and very passive inside. But I was all through and through very passive or very aggressive. But I was never in between. And that is always making either somebody wrong or myself wrong. Always making either somebody right or myself right. So always, like how in Access Consciousness, the Bear's Manual, they say polarity is the biggest addiction there is. So we, even for example, if you have a drug addict at home, or if you have an alcohol addict at home, and you make that alcohol addict wrong, but actually you making that person wrong all the time is the biggest addiction that you have, which nobody sees, nobody wants to see, because that person is visibly wrong. The alcoholic, the aggressive, the person who's outwardly wrong is visibly wrong. And the person who's outwardly right and always thinking that I'm right is not right. Just other side of the polarity. To maintain this, this has to be there. To maintain this, this has to be there. So this will go on. Very classic mind game. When I learned games people play, the mind games, transactional analysis, I could actually recognize that, oh, what goes on here? What's going on? And so each of them are serving their own need and the other person's need also. The passive person is serving his or her need to be passive and to be right. The aggressive person is serving his need to be aggressive and to dominate over the passive person, and to feel powerful by dominating, because otherwise that person feels very powerless. This person is strong, but doesn't know how to display the strength in an adequate manner. This person is weak, but doesn't know how to express the weakness in an adequate manner. Both are struggling. The passive person is only harming himself or herself. The aggressive person is harming himself and this person. In either case, there is loss. There is no win-win. It can never convert into a win-win until you choose the middle path and you say, okay, fine. I have to be assertive. Talk the truth, what is true, just the way it is. Acknowledging what is and being real. Being real to the core, being fair, being unbiased. Okay, what's going on in this situation? This person is doing this person is doing this, I'm here. I'm here or here also, right? So this is inside me only. This. All three are inside me. Okay? The parent, so the child aggressive is the parent and the adult is the assertive. Okay? So parent, child, adult. Now, to behave like an adult, you have to identify, when am I behaving like a child? And how old am I being then? When I'm trying to be this weak, passive person. Which critical parent am I operating from when I'm being aggressive? Who am I being when I'm being aggressive? What am I being when I'm being both? What am I trying to achieve from being both? And can I achieve that same thing without the need to be passive or aggressive, but by being assertive, by being an adult and talking like I am, say if I'm 49 now, so talking like a 49-year-old. Can I achieve what I wish to achieve by talking like a 49-year-old and seeing things the way they are and not making anybody right or wrong, but looking at the situation, there's a person A, person B, there's a conflict. So first I put myself in the place of the person A, what's going on in the person A, this is going on, and that's why this person A is behaving this way. Get to the position of the person B, what's going on in person B, what is the body language, what is the mental frame, what is going on here, why is the person behaving like this, and then coming to the adult neutral state. And once having seen this, now I can observe like absolutely in a fair manner, okay, this is going on, what this person needs to change and what this person also needs to change. Now, when I'm looking here, I can give that suggestion to this person and to this person. Now, this suggestion, then after giving suggestion, I implement, this is an NLP exercise called dealing with difficult people. So now this adult or the neutral person is going back to person A position with the suggestion, implementing the suggestion. And now the behavior of the person A will be different. And then when the person comes to person B position, the behavior of the person B will be different with the suggestion that this 0 point has given. And then suddenly the whole thing shifts. And then when you come back to your position, you will know what was the learning of this difficult situation. What did I have to learn from this situation? It's a brilliant activity. When I learned NLP, that's 2013. I started doing that for everything. That, okay, position A, position B. If I'm in the position of the person who's bullying, let me go there, see what's going on. If I'm the person who's being bullied, what's happening to me? And then as an adult, what will I tell to this person? What will I tell to this person? And after the implementation of that, what is going on? Because if I'm affected, I have to heal, change this. The person who's not affected doesn't need to do anything. I'm affected. So I'm going to see what is going on inside of me, outside of me, and then what can change inside of me to see the change that I desire outside of me. And then be fine and be an adult. Be the age that I am. This takes a lot of work. And every event you have to dealing with, what I learned is dealing with all personal situations professionally. And when I used to come to my profession and I used to work with people, then I used to take it personally. That no, okay, fine, this person is not in a very happy space. He has come for help, she has come for help. So let's deal with it like a family, like a friend. Take it personally. And at the same time, dealing with it professionally. Emotions are personal, uh, but solutions come professionally. When you're in very deep emotions, you cannot find a solution. Deep emotions can lead you to think about why things are the way they are. What can I do to change this? Now that can be a force that drives you to find a solution. Very deep emotions. Surface living superficial will never get you to resolve anything, because you don't even think that there is a problem. You don't even acknowledge that there is a problem. You're like, हाँ सब ठीक चल रहा है, all good. So yesterday I was talking to someone, like very intuitively, like almost after maybe some 6-7 months, I made a call to this person, and this person, I said, how are you? I just very strongly felt to call you. This person said, should I say what's happening really? Or the usual answer, yeah, all is well. I was like, and who told you that you have to give this answer when anyone asks, how are you? This person says that, yeah, aren't we told that be positive? Say all is well. I said, yeah, with me, you don't have to be positive. You can be real. So tell me what's happening and how are you? And then that person gave me a whole lot of problems that that person is going through. And then that person says, okay, every time anybody calls and says, how are you? I say, yeah, all is well. Now, what is that? Just masking everything, pushing everything under the carpet, and trying to show to the world that it's all fine. I'm fine. Will that ever change? It will never change. Because what you hide, you cannot change. I love what Dr. Dane here says in the bars video, DVD, the first bars class DVD, that what you hide, you cannot change. So if you're hiding your true feelings, and if you're not willing to be assertive, if you're not willing to express your true feelings, it is never going to change. If you're not willing to be vulnerable, if you're not willing to be raw, it is never going to change. So even though I was being this victim or very much in the self-pity, and when I went for therapies, I used to like terribly make other people wrong in my reality. But there was a part of me which was willing to be that vulnerable and that raw and complain and do everything that it takes to change and find peace inside me. And that seeking, right? That seeking is not for changing the world. That seeking is not for what's going on outside. We think it is like that, but actually the seeker's soul is looking for, what do I do with my inner, lack of peace, lack of true happiness, lack of the ability to stand up to my truth, lack of the ability to speak, lack of the ability to be vulnerable, lack of the ability to even know what to say and what not to say. Assertive is knowing what to say, what not to say. Assertive is standing up for yourself. Assertive is speaking your truth. Assertive is being authentic. Assertive is being real. When I learned this passive aggressive assertive, I loved that whole module. I started practicing whatever small steps that they gave in that thing, that how to be assertive. I started practicing that. And that practice helped me so much, like never before. Long after that, I learned Access. But that time, that particular thing that I learned in 2011. In 2011, I learned this module about assertive behavior. And I started practicing being assertive. Small changes I brought to my daily habits. And instead of going into, you're always like this, I'm always like this, or I did this, you didn't do this, all of that, I would just be like, okay, let's look at it categorically. Let's look at it in a professional way. And then I would just talk only as much as is required to talk. It took some level of practice. It took some level of everyday introspection, every day sitting with myself, every day seeing what's going on, and then kind of weighing my words before I speak, measuring the other person's level of inability to be truthful to the self and others. And then talking. Did it always help? Maybe not. But most of the times I was at peace. I was not feeling right. I was not feeling wrong. I was feeling that, okay, I said what I wanted to say. Now, whatever the other person responds, it's fine. I'm willing to take it. I'm not vested in the outcome. It's important for me to say what is inside of me, irrespective of whether the other person is unhappy about it, feels angry about it, expresses anger, or just laughs it out. Doesn't matter. But I will just say what I wish to say. From there began my journey of being assertive. It took me a long time. It didn't come in one day because I was so used to either being passive or aggressive. And especially with authority figures, the passive aggressive people will have crazy amount of problem with authority figures. They will always try to make the authority figures either way too good or way too bad. Because that's inside the authority person inside them, the critical parent is all the time alive and hammering. The child in them is all the time passive. So this fight between the critical parent, the dominant and overbearing parent, and the child who is passive continues till the child recognizes one day that, okay, now I'm not a child anymore. I'm an adult and I can deal with this. And even I can tell my parent what I have to say. I can tell anybody what I have to say without having to react like a passive person or an aggressive person. It takes practice, it takes a lot of work, but it's not impossible. It's beautiful if you learn how to be assertive in life. It's excellent actually. When I used to teach this soft skills training module of assertive behavior, when I used to teach communication skills in colleges, oh my God, those were my happy times. I mean, I used to love teaching children these things. Then when I came into like cross healing, like very deep level healing and everything, that took a back foot actually. So, and then of course I got into too intense work, and now I'm doing a lot of intense work. But I miss that bit. I really want to get back to doing these programs, these small training modules of 3 hours, teaching people communication skills and assertive behavior. And now it's all the more good because what I knew then, and plus after healing, intense healing of so many people one to one, I have even the nitty gritties of why people are assertive and passive. I mean, when I learned that, I knew only the cognitive bit. Now I know the like the mind body soul level bit also. So of course, if now I facilitate those workshops, it's going to be a different level altogether. It's going to be very rich in you know and valuable actually. And I would like, I really, today I realize I've been asking these questions past few days that like what else is possible that I have not considered yet. And this is what I want to do. It gives me immense joy and happiness to be able to reach out to more children, youth, and show them a different possibility despite bad parenting, despite dysfunctionality in the family, despite anything that went on as in your childhood. But you can change it now, and you can be different. You can choose to live your life in a way nobody in your entire family or generation has done. And I know I have that uh, now I have that ability to invoke that assertiveness in children, in youth. There's this thing called Seva Cafe in Ahmedabad, and it's a beautiful concept of gifting and receiving. And when I went to Seva Cafe, I went with my son, okay? And there was a quote written over there: youth are not useless or careless. Youth are used less and cared less. So children are not useless or careless. Children are used less and cared less. They are not given their due importance. They are not given their due respect, the dignity of being the child that they are. If we all could learn, these things, and we could give the children the due dignity that they deserve. It is not possible that they don't respect you. It is not possible that they don't value your words. It is not at all possible. My children respect me a lot. My children value everything I do a lot. Because I changed myself. I changed my need to be dominating or making them or me right or wrong, or making their father right or wrong, despite the fact that we are divorcing. I stopped making their father, their grandmother, the anybody right or wrong. I would talk, okay, so this was the situation then, and that's why they behave this way. But right now, we're all good, so it's okay. You don't have to fight it. My children talk to all my family members, in-laws, just like they used to before, with a lot of love, with a lot of gratitude, with a lot of fun. They have video calls like every week. I'm not a part of that, but they're still a part of the family. I didn't separate them from the family. I didn't separate them from themselves, because when you separate your children from their original family, the family of origin as per family constellation, when you have a separation with your family of origin, you have a separation with you as well. You don't feel like you belong anywhere. And when I learned family constellation, I realized how important it is for me to first make peace with my family of origin, and for them to be cordial at least with their family of origin. And I don't have any right to make them not choose where they belong. they can choose where they belong. And at the same time, they know they belong to the entire cosmos. It's not just one family. They belong to themselves. They belong to the earth. And that sense of belonging and the sense of, you know, that I am important, I matter, comes to them when a mother stands up for herself. And when standing up for yourself doesn't mean putting other people down. Get that very clear, people. Standing up for yourself is never putting other people down. Standing up for yourself is just standing up for yourself. That's all. There is nothing more to it. You know, there are so much of, you know, these jargons, these statements that we have misidentified and misapplied. And how can I talk so clearly? Because I have practiced everything that I have learned like 100 times, 1,000 times. And even at the face of me feeling terribly wrong or me feeling terribly right, or letting go of both and then looking at things the way they are. I've gone and said sorry, I've gone and said thank you, I've gone and said it's okay. I've told the same to myself. I've told the same to people, whether they behave good with me or bad with me. Irrespective, I would just do it for me, not for anybody else. Just for me, for my peace, for my inner happiness, and to come back to my state, natural state of joy. I would do all that. I would be very raw, very vulnerable where it is required. And cut off from those places where I know it's limiting me or it's not contributing to me in any form or manner. So where I have to cut off, I will cut off. Where I have to say something, I will say something. Where I have to fight, I will fight also. And where I have to take up a challenge and I have to be this adamant person that in this challenge, I am going to win. Come what may. I'll do that also. It is all me. But at the same time, none of this defines who I am. Moving beyond definitions, knowing that we all have the capacity to be what it is supposed to be in that given moment and change it. Nothing is permanent. Nothing has to be permanent. Everything is temporary and we can look at everything as temporary. Very simple. Any conflict, any situation, any phase of life, loss, gain, sadness, anger, hurt, pain, joy. Joy is not the word, happiness actually. Happiness is not permanent. There will be a happiness, there will be unhappiness. Joy is a very next level being. Joy is the comfort of being natural. But to come to the state of joy, one has to first cross all of this and know that all of this is temporary. The Param Anand that people talk of, that is joy. Param Anand. Param Anand is not easy to achieve. आनंद पे पहुंच जाए फिर परम आनंद के बारे में सोचेंगे. So, but you know, the amount of self-discipline it requires to be able to achieve, even if it is in a you know, kind of changing your habits every day, it does make a lot of difference. It really, really makes a lot of difference. And it's so important to change our habits. There's a book called Atomic Habits. I think everyone must read that book. It is beautiful. It's a lovely book. Okay, I'll just read something from that and then we'll close the call for today. Because that, everything, and Surya Narayan, he's a person who's in my workshops. He sent me that ebook that, Bandana, you will love this book. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll read it. And I was doing the book read of that. It is a way to create habits, create constructive habits. Okay, it's not, I think it's on my Kindle. Let me just check. Actually, it was on a PDF, and I lost all my WhatsApp data, right? So I think I don't have it anymore. I'll have to ask Surya to send it again. Never mind. So basically, if you can catch hold of this book called Atomic Habits, read that book and try and see how you can cultivate better habits than now. Even if you're in a good place today, there is never no scope for improvement. And you can always become a better version of yourself than you are in this moment. Like I always strive to become better than what I am today. That question of access consciousness, what would it take for me to be greater than yesterday? I keep asking that. That was my status for 1 year. I used to go back to that and I would ask this question every day. What would it take for me to be greater than yesterday? And doesn't matter what is the greater and what was yesterday. I don't try and define anything. My Instagram handle says undefinable because I don't want to fit into any definition. There's no need to fit into any definition. Sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that, sometimes I'm something very alien, and sometimes I'm something very human, and sometimes I'm humanoid, sometimes I can be anything, and I can be everything. All of us can. It's so much freedom to not categorize yourself into one thing. It is so much liberation of being when you can be playful, you can be joyful, you can be sad, you can be upset, you can be angry, you can be irritated, and you can be anything. But at the same time, knowing that this is temporary. ये बस थोड़ी देर के लिए अभी मैं irritated हूँ. Always saying, in changing your language to, oh, right now I'm feeling this. Right now I'm irritated. Right now I'm upset. I'll be good. Right now I'm not feeling well. I'll be good. In this moment, this is what it is. Tomorrow it may not be the same. To be able to bring these things to your language from a person who thinks I'm perpetually happy, or I'm perpetually sad, or I'm all the time blissful, or I'm all the time angry. Nobody can be anything all the time. Unless you're Buddha, which clearly I am not. I don't know about other people. But yes, there is no permanence of anything. Impermanence is the way of life, and emotions are fleeting. Emotions are here to pass. And so it's nice to acknowledge them and just honor them for their role in our lives, and then move on and change and let strive to have joy as a maximum part of your being. if not always, as much as you can. You know, from say 10% to 20% to 30% to 40% to 80% to 100%. 100%, I don't know when, but yeah, there will be one day when I will be always joyful. Maybe or maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, I trust that it's brilliant. My journey has given me a uh, lot of life, you know, life, like life. It's just life with all its colors, beautiful colors of life. Everything is beautiful. Like I remember every time I used to hug people in my workshops, and if someone is crying and something like that, I know for some reason I would just hold them and I would embrace them and I would say, life is beautiful. And then those people would say, the way you just said, right, life is beautiful. It just did something. And that I innately believe that life is beautiful, despite everything. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. Life on earth is the most beautiful gift we have given to ourselves and earth has given to us. How about rejoicing every moment and celebrating every moment and living a life of purpose here, contributing, receiving, you know, it's brilliant. And we can all choose this. We can all choose this. First by choosing to be assertive, first by choosing to come out of the blame game, to come out of the right and wrong, to come out of the holding on to one side of the whatever polarity, and being willing to be this center, anything, whatever is required in that moment. Now this is shift, right? When I started the call, and who was reacting then? Maybe Bandana, who was like, say, 30-year-old or 35-year-old or maybe 13-year-old. Doesn't matter. Right now, who is Bandana? Right now, Bandana is 49-year-old. Present, totally present, knowing what I'm talking. Not also, absolutely um, not doubtful about what I'm saying. Knowing that this is what it is, and we can all achieve this state. We can all. Trust me. We all have this capacity. Our ways and methods can be different. You don't necessarily have to learn NLP or Access or this or that. All that I have done, that doesn't have to be your path. Your path can be anything. You can reach where you have to reach. And like the other book that I would recommend people is How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be of Jack Canfield. It's a beautiful book. I read that book first, like long back, even before I did all this training and everything. Maybe sometime in 2008 or 9, I read it. How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It's a beautiful book of Jack Canfield. So yeah, couple of books which I've suggested today, and read, make your children read. And How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It has small chapters, just 2 pages chapters. So it's not like you have to read from the start to finish. You can pick up the book, read any chapter one day, and then leave it at that. It's brilliant. I love these books. I love these people who have dedicated their lives to write these books and create transformation. So yeah, these are my suggestions for today. Assertive behavior, try and read more about it, and try and cultivate assertive behavior than being passive or aggressive. And it is possible, right? Thank you very much. Any questions, anything you want to share? And then we close.
मैम मैं तो ये दोनों बुक पढ़ने वाली हूँ।
Very good.
नोएडा जाऊंगी सबसे पहले यही वाला, मैं छुप छुप के किताबें खरीदती हूँ, तो अब की बार आपने इतनी अच्छी किताबें बताई हैं तो इनको जरूर पढ़ूंगी।
Definitely बहुत अच्छी किताबें हैं, undoubtedly पढ़ना चाहिए.
मैम आज तो हद हो गई मैम, आज सारी कहानी मतलब खुल के सामने आ गई। मैम हद ही हो गई आज तो। थैंक यू मैम।
You're welcome. Yeah. Anyone else wants to say anything, ask anything? Else we close the call.
Thank you so much, Vandana. Day was blissful.
Go ahead, go ahead. Actually, today when you were talking, I mean, there were so many, it was like so many thoughts coming. इधर से भी उधर से भी अच्छा ये ऐसे मतलब ऐसा लगा था हर अपनी लाइफ की सिचुएशन एक जी जी कर बाहर निकल रहे हैं जैसे you know कि going in there and then coming out and then I actually got inspired kind of thing that everything can change and you just need to constantly work for it in some way or the other. Just don't leave it and sit because I think I have never been into assertive, very true, but हाँ passive aggressive जैसे कि पैसिव से रास्ता नहीं निकला तो अग्रेसिव हो गए फिर अपने आप को and this is what I felt which nobody has told me before. Whenever I kind of been aggressive with any member or anybody, I used to blame myself inside a lot that तूने ऐसा क्यों behave किया या it's okay जब हर बार होता है तो इस बार भी हो जाता है it's okay why did you react like that. फिर मुझे समझ नहीं आता था मुझे लगता था कि बिकॉज एवरी टाइम आई एम लाइक पैसिव तो वो इसलिए इट्स नॉट वर्किंग सो जस्ट इट वाज लाइक ट्राइंग द अदर वे आउट कि चलो
Yeah.
फिर अग्रेसिव हो जाओ.
Yes.
टुडे it's like been an insight कि हम actually we are playing a game
Yeah.
zigzag हो रहा है और कुछ हम वहीं पर ही रह जाते हैं इस कारण. So thanks a lot.
What is Rupal asking? When you say what you feel is right and the opposite person does accept it or doesn't even listen, it's okay, because if that person is not willing to accept it or not willing to listen, you can't really change their thought process. You have to just say and you just leave. And in the sense, if continuously if you have to say something to someone and that person never gets it, then get it that that person is not going to get it. It's a futile effort. So leave it. You change your ways. You change your direction. You ask yourself, what can I be or do different? And what can be, like if it is a family member and you can't leave that family member, then you have to see that what is important for me. And according to that, you have to check that what you want to do.
Yeah, that's the reason I think that we just keep our mouth shut and we don't say anything.
Yeah, but then it is not going to help.
Yeah, true. That's why I messaged.
Because, having been there, done all of that, I know it doesn't help.
And
I guess somewhere I just take a back seat and I think it's more peace. I'm like, let them be what they want to, do what they. If it's coming in your zone, you deal with it, or else just leave it.
Yeah, but that is a fine strategy actually, Rupal. That if it is not affecting you, don't do anything about it. Only when it is affecting you or it is triggering something in you, then you do something about it.
Yeah, and all thanks to Access that it's not triggering me, honestly.
Then it is fine. Then it's not even something that you need to look at. Just chill. If it's triggering them, let them do something about it. You relax.
I think, yeah, it was wonderful call today. I think even how she said, I was also getting into those moments. I'm like, I was actually getting into those thoughts. I'm like, but it was wonderful. Lovely.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Sheetal.
Yeah, and 3 years back, it just one of my friends, her name is Aditi. She was into Access, and I didn't know anything about Access at that time. And once I just had a word with her, and she said, "Stop blaming everybody else and
Mm.
start looking at your own self. And you know, that day I didn't feel like talking to her. I said, "Ye bhi pagal hai." But then after after the call, I was just thinking and thinking for 2-3 days, and then I got back to her and I said, पहले तो मैंने अपना गुस्सा निकाला कि ऐसे तूने मुझे क्यों बोला. And then after that it was like, फिर it took some time to kind of digest this also, but then
Yeah.
it was so clear then. And after that I stopped blaming everybody else, and then I used to see कि मुझे कहाँ change होना है, and that is what that added joy to my life.
Yeah. We actually don't have control over anybody except ourselves.
Yeah.
We cannot change other people, even if we want to.
Exactly.
It's a myth.
And the whole life we actually try to do that only.
Try to change everybody.
Yeah, because हम एवरी टाइम यही सोचते हैं, अगर ये ऐसा हो जाए ना तो कितना इजी हो जाएगा, या मतलब ये समझ जाए इस प्रॉब्लम को तो कितना इजी हो जाएगा. एंड देन एंड आई सेड टू माई सेल्फ, यार इतने सालों के बाद ये समझ में आया कि जो सोच रहे थे वही सबसे बड़ा गलत था. You have to work on yourself, कि अपने आप को चेंज करो.
I know. Like, all these were simply merely quotes before. Be the change you wish to see in the world. हाँ, सुनने में
Yeah.
बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, but होता कैसे है?
And actually speaking, I didn't know the meanings also. Like मुझे समझ ही नहीं आता था, मतलब ठीक है तो बस पढ़ लिया और अच्छा है,
हाँ.
मतलब उनका मीनिंग
हाँ,
नहीं है
सुन के बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है.
हाँ.
Like, what's true makes you feel light. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, these are the stepping stones actually. I used to write those affirmations and those quotes, and I used to read them again and again. कुछ तो होता ही होगा, which leads you there, which takes you there. So it's all good. It's all happening perfectly.
Yeah. Right.
Cool. Thank you, people.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
I'll see you
Yeah.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.